Okay, hello everyone. Welcome. Trying to get comfortable here. Yeah, welcome. So, yeah, I wanted to kind of start out. So I know that I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what to do on that like third day, because like Tuesday's usually update day, so that's usually stuff that we do on Tuesdays. And I want to do like the pacifist run or whatever current run we're gonna be doing after, like we'll be doing other runs after the pacifist run. But and I'll do that on Mondays, but I still don't know really what to do on Sundays. So I'm just gonna do some random stuff really. Um, and yeah, and I think that I'm just gonna do something random. So that's totally fine. I kind of want to like play. He's not set up for that though, so I'll play my thief at some other point. I'll play my necromancer. So I haven't played my necromancer in a while. Let me open up the thing here. Get that ready. Get some sound going. Slowly like getting there. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a good week. My week was, was okay. Wasn't like super crazy or anything, but wasn't also the best. It was like so-so. Um, but yeah, super. Man, I have so many bags on this guy. Look at this bag space here. Yeah, this used to be my main for a long time. I used to main Reaper and stuff, but then I kind of became bored of it, and I kind of stopped that. I did get mail. Oh, it's my daily gathering. Okay. Let's open that up. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, there we go. Let's do that. Fantastic. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna do maybe some Reba. We can do some Reba. I don't really do that on stream or anything. But, trying to get like materials and stuff, trying to get some more money. Materials like, we're currently working on the guild hall and stuff, and you need like a crap ton of materials. Okay, I made it into the map. Fantastic. Let's go help out. You need map guide. There's an actual map guide. That's kind of cool. Oh, I'm a close range. I forgot that I'm not. I have an axe. I can use my axe. I like using double dagger though. So, but yeah, Reba is actually still like really good, and with Reba, it's one of those things you don't have to like wait. I find myself like, when you do like Auric Basin meta or something, or even like Drizzle Wood, like, you gotta wait for people to go in and do stuff. But there's like, there's like Reba maps where like nothing is going on. You can still do like the red base. You can kind of do that by yourself, like escort the bull and stuff. You only need like a couple people for that. So it's really nice with that. And then the meta isn't like too long. The map isn't too large. Where in Drizzlewood I find it like sometimes it's a little bit large and it's a little bit harder to like navigate, even with like being able to drop in and stuff, because you get shot out of the sky, right? And it's just like, oh god, it's just like one of those things where it's like, that's not good. So, but yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed the beta week. I did not play very much of it because I'm the type of person that if I get really into it, I would be like really missing it. Like specifically the Virtuoso, I find myself going back every so often and wanting to play it, and then I would play for like 5 minutes, and then I'm like, if I like, I don't know, if I keep going, then I'm gonna love it so much, but none of it that I do on this character matters, so I can't even do anything significant. Because if I get like a really good drop, what the heck am I gonna do? I won't be able to keep it and stuff. So I don't know. I stayed away from it. I tried it out. We did the stream and stuff. It was a 5-hour stream. It was a long stream. And yeah, and it was fun. I had a good time. I think that the Willbender specifically, I think I think a lot of people agree on this. I think the Willbender out of all three of them needs a lot of work. But I've seen some crazy posts online too. Some people have been going as far as like calling for like a complete rework. They've been saying like, no, we want everything completely redone. And I'm like, that is never gonna happen. I don't know who came up with that idea, but because that's a bit on the crazy side, yeah. I think, I don't know. I mean, if people are calling for it, I don't know, does Revenant have to do it? If, like, the entire player base agrees on it, I mean, is there anything they can say about that? Or, I mean, and I'm asking as in, like, what's everyone's opinion kind of thing, and not, like, you know, like, a theoretical question. It's really like, can they do this? Can people demand that from ArenaNet? I don't know. But yeah, it's a bit on the like for me it was strange because when I remember when I was playing and I was playing these character these not characters but these the elite specs or whatever. I was like, the complaints that I had, I was like, ugh, maybe I'm like too like crazy on these complaints, like, like maybe I should like tone down my complaints or what I'm asking for. But then like I literally went on both the forums and the let's do this. Hold on. I went on both the forums and the Reddit, and it was like everyone had the exact same complaints that I had, and it was one of those things where I was like, wow, really? Like, that's crazy. Hi Raygon, how are you? Alright, I'll just have that as a poll. I kind of had the same poll up last time, but it's been like a week and people still got to play some more throughout the week and theorycraft a lot more and stuff, so I think it's a valid poll for for after the fact, I think, because you can still build your opinion after the first day. I just think a lot of people didn't. The problem is, I think, that you run into with the community is there's an executioner here. He probably died already. They die so fast. Oh no, there he is. I'm just auto-attacking because they die really quickly for legendaries. That's maybe all I'm gonna do. I don't know. He throws all those insect swarms. But I think the thing that you run into with the community is that because the game has been out for so long and because we've already had 2 sets of elite specializations come out, that the community already knows the best of the trades and the best of the setups and what's best for us for a new spec, right? And I think there's I think that's probably maybe mostly true, but I think also that a lot of people don't realize that maybe there's certain combinations that you should try out now that might work a little bit better. Where I think that, like, on the Virtuoso, for example, a lot of people didn't, the issue with the Virtuoso was a little bit more like, the problem with it was the how it glitched, like, or it was buggy in the way that it interacted with the clone With the, oh, that one disappeared. Great. With the illusions, I mean, it's specifically, there was a lot of traits that had to deal with like clone creation, but they didn't actually trigger on creating blades, and specifically so on the elite one that gives you health every time you create a clone or an illusion, I mean. And that kind of sucks, because that would have been the trait that I would have picked to get some sustainability in there, and that didn't work. And that was very, like, you know, it was upsetting in its own way, because it's like, okay, this doesn't work at all. Like, you're wasting that, you know. So I think if they figure that out, the Virtuoso would actually be really good, because it really works well with the illusion line. I think when I look at the like Mesmer lines specifically, a lot of them like, I feel like the Mesmer traits feel different than other classes in a weird way, because I think in like, I don't know, it's really strange, because they interact, like, there's so many lines that don't necessarily increase your power or your condition damage or whatever, you know. They just improve something of the way that you play or move or do whatever. Okay, really? I mean, is no one gonna help me here? God, we're here to do events, and no one wants to do this event, so that's really annoying. Maybe I can kill him before he transforms me. No, come back. Yeah, I got it. Nice. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, they like they don't interact with specifically, like, I hate that I can't see the bowl. It kind of annoys me. That's because I have the culling really high, because I'm tired of it lagging on like big events and stuff. But I think it like changes the way that you play. Like, specifically, a lot of it has to do with how you create clones and stuff. Like, create a clone when you dodge, or when you create a clone, do this, and blah blah blah. And it's like, they feel so different to other classes, because with other classes it's like, okay, do more damage with this, or this is a reduced cooldown, or this is stronger, or this is like bigger now, or this heals you now on top of doing damage, or whatever, you know. It modifies the skills directly, where a lot of the Mesmer abilities deal with like the creation of illusions, and, you know, what happens when you shatter an illusion. Like, a lot of it, like 90% of the traits deal with your class, what do you call it, the like the mechanic of your class, where a lot of other class traits, like other classes, their trade lines deal more about like direct, like you know, weapon stuff, and just dealing with like the skills and stuff that you use. I don't know, it feels a little bit different when you work on a Mesmer than when you work on like a Guardian or something. Where on the Guardian, yes, you get some virtue stuff, but specifically just in the virtues line, right? You get all the things about your virtue in one specific line. And that's kind of true for like the Warrior, for example, too. A lot of lines for like that deal with like adrenaline and stuff are like in one trade line, where in the Mesmer you have like across all the trade lines you have something that interacts with the illusions in some way. So I think there's a lot of, you know, going back to the original point, I think there's a lot of specific things that can that people need to specifically theory craft and to be viable, because I think that specifically the Virtuoso line now is pure damage, which I think that brings it to a point where you don't need two other damage dealing, because I saw a lot of setups where it's like it was two damage dealing trade lines that had to do with, like, you know, there's that one, I don't know which ones they are, but there's that one where you do like extra critical damage, and then there's one where you do like have an increased chance of critical strikes and stuff, and then they would also do the Virtuoso, and I'm like, okay, you're going full on power now, but you're so squishy, because there's nothing, you can't do anything about someone like killing you and stuff. But I think that maybe one of those lines could be maybe exchanged for the inspiration, because they don't necessarily give you a DPS loss, but they like, you know, deal with like how you do the illusions a little bit different. I think maybe in a way it's not like to an extreme that way. Maybe I make it sound like it's this whole different thing, but it's not really this whole different thing. But I'm gonna do some passive healing here with my wells. Get these people revived. But yeah, I think I still think they have a lot of work to do on those lead specs. But I think specifically, I think they really what they're trying to do, and maybe not a lot of people realize this. Maybe they do realize it, and no one really talks about it. I haven't seen anyone talk about it. But I think what they're trying to do is instead of completely finishing the elite specs and having them like doing all this number crunching and really sitting down and finishing this all up and then releasing it to the point where Silver Waste is good, Silver Waste is fine. So instead of doing that where they completely finish the elite specs, they actually like, I think they like, I'm thinking this is what it looks like to me, because I remember with Path of Fire, and I know that Path of Fire we didn't really have like a waiting period. I know it like came out really quickly, but from, I think there was like, wasn't there like one beta event that they had or something? There was like one day or something where you could play the elite specs, or maybe like one weekend or something. And instead of and when we played those, they were already completely done. Like the numbers were completely done, and they released them the way they were. And then that's when they had to like go back and change a ton of stuff after the fact, after the expansion already came out. I think they're trying to not make that, they're trying to stop that from happening, where they're not completely finishing the elite specs, and they're just kind of like, okay, here's a rough draft, you guys tell us what they're supposed to look like. We're letting you guys do the work by playing it and then showing us what you guys think about them, what we need to change, what works in the game. Like, we're the play testers, really. I mean, it's like a real beta where we're like actually you know, determining how these should come out or whatever. I think that's what they're really trying to do, where they're trying to do us like the heavy lifting, which I think is good. It's not a bad thing. It like sounds like it has like a negative connotation, but it doesn't. It's a good thing, letting the players pretty much decide what they're supposed to be like, because, you know, us thousands of players are probably going to find more than a couple of dozens of like playtesters, you know, in the studio. We're gonna find the bugs, we're gonna find the little things that really should happen and stuff, or that needs to be changed specifically. And yeah, and then I think they leave it like they have it as a rough draft so that they can mold it, and they do it pretty early now so that they can release it now and then have us change it, and they have enough time to change it to what they should be. So I think that's the goal of the like beta events that we're having right now, where it's not like, oh, try out this new thing. It's pretty much like, hey, tell us how this new thing should be. This is what we have right now, but you tell us if it's good or not, you know? So I think that I feel like that's where they're going with this. So I think that the feedback, even though I don't think they've said anything. I don't think there's been an official word on any of the feedback that has been given. But I think they probably are looking at it like really heavily. And they're probably looking through all the pages on the threads. Like they have, you know, specific threads set up for bugs and for feedback for all three of them. And of course, they're probably going to be looking at Reddit as well. Maybe not as much. But I think that, yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of changes to any of the beta, like the beta elite specs that we're going to see. Any of them, they're going to be heavily changed. Or like for the Harbinger, for example, I think maybe some adjusting some of the numbers and changing the like elixirs around a little bit, I think is enough to make it like a good elite spec, you know. And they see that maybe and they're like, okay, maybe there we don't need to do that much of a change. But then they look at Willbender and they're like, okay, we really have to like change a lot, so we need to focus on that, and we have more than enough time. So they're probably gonna like make like a ranking of where they need to like, which ones do they need to work on really a lot and which ones they don't need to work on as much. And I mean, that's how I would do it, right? And I'm not saying that that's what they're gonna do. That's what I feel what I would do. I would make a list of which ones are really bad and I would put them at the very top, and I would look at ones that are like really good and put them at the bottom, you know, where there's a lot of good feedback and a lot like not that much negative stuff coming out of that, and you know, put them on the bottom of the list, and then you work through them like that, you know, where you're like, okay, we're going to start with the heaviest one where we really have to change a lot of stuff so we can get this done way before the expansion comes out. And then, you know, with the other ones, if we run into, because what you want to do, you know, we all know that game developers run into like crunch time, right? And they run into like having to like just rush things out the door because they have set a date and they don't want to, you know, they've already delayed End of Dragons and they probably don't want to delay it anymore. So they, you know, they want to have, like, I think the smart thing to do would be to have it where you have this tiered list of like, okay, these three we really need to work on, these three, you know, a little work, you know, but not as much. And then the bottom ones, like, they need heavy work, we need to tweak a lot of stuff about them, a lot of things need to change on that, you know. I think would really help, because when you have those last three and you're running into crunch, then those are probably easier and faster fixed, where you can really put a lot of like months time into like the top three that maybe need a lot of work, you know. So but yeah, that's the way that I would do it if I was doing that, because then that way they could even say like a week before the release, are like, oh man, we haven't you know, tweaked the Harbinger. Okay, what were their complaints about the Harbinger? Oh, okay, they want us to like change a little bit of the elixirs, for example. Okay, let's do that. Let's have an artist maybe change the icons. I mean, I don't know if that's gonna take a week of work. I don't know. I'm not an artist. I don't know how long it takes to make those icons or whatever. And then maybe the functionality of them, because we're getting boons through the elite, so the elite can stay the same way but change the other three around maybe to be like damaging or something, and you can just kind of tweak the numbers, and you know, that can be all done in like a matter of a week by a few people. So but yeah, we'll see. We'll get more beta events. I mean, the thing that I'm scared about is, I don't know, they were really good with the mounts, right? And there wasn't a lot of like adjustments they had to do to the mounts, because they really hit it out of the park specifically with the mounts. My fear is that for the last beta weekend or week or whatever, we're having the siege turtle, which means that they're not going to have a lot of time. So if there's something wrong, really wrong with the siege turtle, where people are like, wow, that's really broken, or that's not good for the game or something, that they're not going to fix it in time, which is going to kind of suck. But of course, there's going to be a bunch of bugs fixes as we go into End of Dragons. I hope that we maybe get to see some of End of Dragons, maybe just like Xingje Island or something. I mean, I would like to see some of the maps before we go in there, and maybe get a feel as to really what they're going for, like art style wise and stuff. Like I kind of want to see that as well, but I don't know. We'll have to see on that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of with the list of weapons that were leaked, and I'm not going to mention them on here because I know some people don't like leaks and stuff, but I wasn't necessarily disappointed because I didn't have any expectations, you know, because they can add whatever weapons they want to, and weapons don't mean a lot because you can always use like other weapons with your setup. You don't necessarily have to use that weapon, but I just think that there is not that many that I can see myself using in the elite specs. which means, and I do want to play, once I play End of Dragons, I do want to play one of the new specs, so I will have to decide on like which one to play, but right now I'm looking at like 3, which I think is a good number. I would hate to have, like, you know, it'd be nice to have where I'm like, oh, all of them are cool, all of them are exactly what I asked for. That would be, you know, that would be great and all, but I don't want necessarily, like, I don't know, I can't really describe it, like, because I feel like that would be a bit too much, because then I would have a hard time to decide on, like, okay, which one do I choose? Which one, you know, which one do I really want to do? Because I feel like that's what I ran into a lot with Path of Fire specifically, because there was a lot of them that I liked. Like, I loved the idea of the Mirage, and I loved the Spellbreaker. I didn't like the Mirage in the beginning. I liked the idea of the Mirage. So I was like, I like it, but I don't, you know, and then I really liked the Renegade. I thought the Renegade was really cool. And then we had, what else did we had? Oh, Firebrand. I was like I was like, oh my god, the Firebrand is really cool. Soul Beast, I never really was on board with it, and I still am not super huge on it. I don't know, I just can't get behind on it. I don't know what it is about that particular elite spec that rubs me the wrong way. It just does. What else do we have for Path of Fire? Hollowsmith, I don't play Engineer. Deadeye was one of those where I was like, it's a cool concept, but to me it sounded like they were aiming for like a PvP class, which you can use Deadeye in, like, a breach just open up. Alright, let's just get into any hole. Any spiky hole. Go! Oh, hello. Teleported right in. I don't know any of these. I always forget which one's which. This one is... I don't know what you have to do. Let's attack. No time. We're wasting the time. Everyone's just standing there. Ow. I should have done my stability beforehand. No. I'm so bad at the game. Jesus Christ. Oh no. Oh no. Wow. But yeah, I just hope that, I don't know, I was talking about this today. I'm like, you know, I want them to do the best of both worlds. I really want them to get like a really good story like Path of Fire, because I thought Path of Fire's story was really good. I thought Balthazar was a good like enemy and stuff, and I loved you know, inclusion of the gods in other ways. Going back to some older lore like the original spear and Snav's Golem and stuff, that was really cool. And just kind of like, it really felt almost, I think there was some stuff cut out. Some stuff felt like a big jump, where I'm like, oh, okay, we're going from here to here, and then from here to here, where it was like, and this kind of was like at the end, where I remember like, you go to like the Riverlands, and then it's like, there's like, you don't really do anything in the Riverlands, and then you're supposed to fight Balthazar. Like, you're still following him, you really don't have a plan what to do. Oh, what just happened here? Okay, that was weird. And then it's like you jump from, Renegade is great. I really love Renegade. Renegade is really good. But then you like jump right into the instance of, you know, you fighting Oreen, and this is gonna be a little bit spoiler-rich for people who haven't done Path of Fire. But then you like get killed, and then right as you like come back to life, you're like, okay, we have to make this army out of the Awakened. It's like, I know that it was based on like Joko is gone or whatever, so we can use his army, but I don't know, it felt like kind of a jump, and then you just spent the rest of the story like building up an army and then fighting Balthazar. It just felt kind of like, I would have seen, like, I like the reason I like the beginning of it is because it felt like a journey through the desert kind of thing, and it reminded me a little bit of the first expansion for Final Fantasy 14, which it was also like a journey. Like you journeyed through all the like different like maps and stuff, and it was cool. Like it felt it made the world feel like much bigger and stuff, and so I just wish I like, you know, because like I said, towards the end, and it wasn't like they were bad story instances, they were great, and the story itself was really good. I just wish we had more of that like world building, like going through the, you know, more about the like Elon Riverlands. Like I feel like we only have like 1 or 2 instances, if that. Do we only have like 1 instance in the Elon Riverlands? I mean, it doesn't feel like a lot, and that kind of is a shame because you have like this whole map and you don't do anything in the story in it. And that's kind of what I always hated about like Heart of Thorns specifically, was like that. Whereas like certain maps have like, you go to an instance on like the corner and then you go to like an instance on the other corner and that's about it. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, well, we're not doing anything. Not to say that the maps are bad, but I just feel like you should integrate them more to actually give it like world building. Where in the like first 2 maps in Path of Fire, for example, they do like a ton. You do like a ton of stuff. You know, you like go around. You have to get like your different mounts and stuff like that. You know, you like complete hearts, and you have to go to the camps, and you have to go to the temple, and then, you know, and then you venture north, and you fight the Herald again, and then you like have to collect your next mount, and I don't know, it just feels better. I guess I'm gonna be here. I have 4 already. That was quick. Do I have all of these? I don't know if I do. I probably don't. No, I don't. Where do I start? I go like through the list. Okay, there we go. This is the next one. Learn it. Open this. Open these. Look, you get like a ton of this stuff. Look, 27. Boom. Full. Bam. Done. Done, son. I'm gonna salvage all of these. Open these. Look at that. It's crazy. So I really hope that they combine, you know, like a really good story, and I really want them to have like, I know it's a lot of work, but I kind of want it to be a longer story where you go through all the different maps and you really explore all the different maps and you get all these like different story instances and stuff, to like the very end of, you know, and I don't want it to be a rushed ending, because that was Heart of Thorns was kind of like, it kind of felt weird with the like open world event that you had going on at the same time. Okay, why does it stop? Okay, don't stop. So I really want them to get like a good, like, I like good meta events, I do, but I also like to have a good story instance at the end. Oh, I don't have anything. That's fine. I'll just do this. It's fine. Oh, that was worst timing. All right. Still trying to get my luck up, but that's, you know, yeah, Renegade, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, because my opinion has changed a lot over time, but it's also because the balance has changed over time on these. I'm trying to think of like what my favorite was. I know that I was like super on a Spellbreaker, and I kind of, it had to do with the name, okay? And I will tell everyone, like, the reason why I really liked the idea of the Spellbreaker is because it reminded me of the Spellbreaker from Ragnarok Online, okay? I didn't play that game very much. I played it some, but I did watch the anime, and I remember, was it Takias or whatever her name was, the mage? She becomes a Spellbreaker later on in the anime because of her master is like the other opposite that a mage can become. I forgot, whatever. And to like oppose him or whatever. And I really like ice magic as a mage a lot in video games and stuff. And she used a lot of ice magic and stuff, specifically as a Spellbreaker. And I really love the concept of like being like a mage, and like a anti-mage mage kind of thing, which kind of the Mesmer is in a weird way, or Guild Wars 1's mage really was. But so when I heard Spellbreaker, I was just like, oh, it's cool, and I loved the daggers, so I was like all about it. And I did play through most of like, well, I played through all of Path of Fire with the Spellbreaker, and I played through Season 4 with the Spellbreaker, like most of it. And I had a lot of fun. Like PvE Spellbreaker is really fun. You get like a ton of survivability and stuff. But I kind of miss like, I like playing a mage. And that's where kind of Warrior falls short on. That's kind of what I miss in a Warrior, is the mage aspect. I'm a huge fan of mage. So I hope that maybe, I mean, from the leaks, it doesn't look like we're gonna get a mage spec, which I'm kind of sad about, but that's okay. That's a-okay. Like I said, there's plenty of other ones that I'm looking at. Specifically for me right now, Virtuoso. I'm pretty sure I'll be playing a Virtuoso. I don't know if that's the one I'm going for, because obviously we still have 6 more to find out what they are, and I could be like really surprised at some of them maybe. But as of right now, I think it's very likely that I'm going to be playing a Virtuoso, if they can fix those bugs with the trades. If they can fix the bugs with the trades, I can make a really, I've already thought about it, I can make a really good like sustainable, if I use illusion magic line, or no, inspiration magic line, the inspiration trade line, I mean, I don't know why I kept saying magic, the inspiration trade line, if I can use, I can, you know, you can make it very sustainable with those. So I'll do probably like a berserker. I've turned combat chatter off, and I don't know, I don't think I've ever heard the Spellbreaker combat chatter, so I might have to turn that on, because we recently had that happen, where, because they changed the retreat to charge, so I was like, ooh, let me turn on the chatter that I haven't turned on in like 7 years. I can actually do that right now, and we can listen to some chatter from these people. So, because I was really tired of hearing like, I can outrun a centaur. I'm like, oh my god, please stop. Don't want to hear it no more. Can we go in yet? Oh, we can. Okay. We can. There's the beam. Oh, I should have put feet back on. Whoops, my bad. Noob. Kind of why I was here. I was like, oh, I'll just use feet bag, but yeah, no, apparently not. I'm death incarnate. Wow, I haven't, see those lines, I heard those in years. It's kind of refreshing actually, now that I've had it turned off for so long. You know. Ooh, no, get the postules up. I want to be purple. Purple. Okay, on a Norn, that's, yeah, we can try that. I don't have a Norn warrior, but I can definitely make one. I mean, we have a Norn warrior. It's actually our pacifist. So, that is a thing indeed. Clean. That was really fast, too. I have not seen a kill like that in a long time. That was really fast. So, good job, everyone. I get 4 shovels. Look at all this luck that I have. I have 289 of these in the bank. I just did all those the other day, so. But there's more to be refined, or whatever, to be changed, to be converted, I guess you could say. But yeah, I don't know, like, Spellbreaker is super fun. Again, it's kind of, for me, it's missing, it's like the magic aspect. So I don't know what my favorite elite spec from Path of Fire is. I know it's not Engineer. Engineer is never top on my list. I'm not a fan of Engineer. That's my personal preference. It's not Warrior. Firebrand is really fun, but I don't think it's my favorite. It's really fun. It's really good. But it's not my favorite. Scourge I hate. I don't like Scourge. I love Reaper. I love Necromancers, but I don't like Scourge. I just can't. I'm just really bad at it. I do have a Scourge, and it's too many buttons to play. Again, it's the same issue that I have with the Ventari tablet. It's like you gotta position your shades where the enemies are, and everything dies way too fast, way too quickly, and you have to pay attention to 20,000 things, but you can't because everything dies so quickly in PvE. So from a PvE standpoint, I think Scourge is like, ugh, it's not fun. I don't like it. It's too stressful. It stresses me out. Because I can play this mind-numbingly easy. Reaper? Come on. That's so easy. Really? Well, that's interesting. I know people really like... people really like Scourge and stuff. I don't know. I just can't. I don't know what it is about for great justice that's valuable. Wow, that was really nice. Alright, so I know no one does the labyrinth underneath. I do the labyrinth all the time. I'm the only human being on this planet that does the labyrinth. The labyrinth is super fun to me. You get pretty okay-ish loot from down there, especially if you get enough of those nightmare keys, which I have like a ton in my bank, so I forgot to bring those, but that's okay. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like Scourge. I love the idea of Scourge. Scourge, the idea with the sand shades, they look so awesome. And like making, where's he running to? Oh, there's a two bandit chests here. You know, and making creating barrier for your friends and stuff, and like the whole idea of like a sand mage. I love the idea of a sand mage. Like if I would ever make a video game, it would have a sand mage in there because I love like, I don't like earth mages, but I like sand mages. If that makes sense. That's not really, I don't know. It's not really like a trope in a lot of games. You know, things that like use sand as like their abilities and stuff. Like I was huge on Crocodile in One Piece because he used sand. I was like, oh, so awesome. And then he came back later and I was like, yes, he's really cool. But I just can't get behind on it. I don't know. The whole idea of positioning your stuff, and I know you have the option of having like one big shade, and that's not what like the meta is, but I do like, I like doing that because it has just a bigger AoE and I don't have to worry about where all three of my sand shades are located right now. Like, but I don't know. It's like a lot of the F skills are around you, so you have to like position yourself and your shade, and you have to make sure that you use the skills at the right time. Then you have to make sure that, you know, you build up your life force. You have to pay attention to where your life force is at. You have to pay attention to your own life. It's very tedious to me. I don't know. The skill level is too high for me. My brain doesn't work well enough for that. So, and like support on that is nice. I think support, and I've never played a support Scourge. I would probably like it if I were to. Okay, can I be out of combat? Thank you. Like the enemy is like 3.5 miles back the other way. I'd probably, because I love playing support, right? I've never tried a support Scourge, so I will probably have to do that at some point. Yeah, so I don't have anything on that pretty much, but I don't know. Maybe I should try that out. I do have a Scourge that's set up and stuff. It's my only char that I have too. I'm doing Hidden Depths now. I'm gonna go do that. I know they're all opening those chests and stuff, but I like going in the labyrinth. It's very relaxing going down there. You like kind of go down there and you, oh, someone did this. Okay. Bag of loot. Bag of loot. Ooh, and there's a chest over there. No one saw that. Saw the chest. So.
Rarely see one of those.
But I don't know. I really want to have a main. You know, I really want to get into. I've been switching my main so much. my very first main was my first character, which was an elementalist. I'm really bad at elementalist. It's way too squishy for me. I was like, okay, Weaver is like a lot of damage on the Weaver, so I was like, maybe now I can be good. I still think it's really squishy. I die really fast, even with switching into like other attunements and stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not good with it. So I stopped playing that. I stopped playing that before Weaver even came out. I stopped, I think, even like around the time that Tempest came out, because Tempest felt like a more supporty stuff, and I was like, well, you know what? As a main, you want to do a little bit of damage, and um, it's not damage oriented, so I want to play something else. So I ended up switching to, I played Guardian for a little bit. That was when I was mainly playing like World versus World. There was a period of time, I think it was right around Heart of Thorns, when Heart of Thorns came out. I think it was before Heart of Thorns. I think it was in the content drought, and that period of time, before the like a year before or something. I think it was during season 1, where I was playing just like World vs. World like 90% of the time, because I was in a guild that was a World vs. World guild, and we had like a ton of fun. But I played an Asuran Guardian back then, and that was super fun. I really enjoyed playing that. And then when Path of Fire came out, or Heart of Thorns came out, I started with a Revenant. The problem with the Revenant was, for me, really, that's not available? Why is that contested? Because the event is going on, no one's doing the event? Awesome. So then I switched to Revenant, and I played Revenant for a while, but I really wanted to play like a Staff Revenant, and Staff Revenant wasn't very good, because the support back then, like the Ventari tablet, I still don't think, I still have a support, my Revenant has a support setup, I just think it sucks. Ventari tablet sucks, and I can play any other healing spec, like quote unquote support spec or whatever, and do much better on it than I could ever do on that, on the support Revenant. I know that you get like perma alacrity on it and stuff. That's really nice, but it just does it gets out healed by like everything else. I don't know, it just doesn't. And it's such a small AoE heal, like, you know, people have to be really on the tablet the whole time in order to get it and stuff. And you have to move the tablet constantly, and then it's on cooldown, you can't move it again, and you actually moved it to the wrong spot, and you're like, oh my god. So, I'm doing this event just so we have a waypoint here. I'm doing this all by myself, apparently. That's okay. Here you go, sir. There's 10. Someone gonna help me on this? I guess not. Well, whatever. I guess I'm gonna go in. Waiting for all these to respawn is gonna be annoying. So then I kind of stopped playing Revenant, and that's when Season 3 came out. When Season 3 came out, I started playing a Reaper. I started playing a Wow, really? I didn't even last 2 seconds in this freaking thing. It's, you know, and I talk about this all the time, and people agree with me all the time, and I kind of feel, I've been thinking about a video that I want to make, okay? And I've been talking about maybe a quality of life, quality of life changes that I would like to see as a video and stuff, because I've been writing down some notes on certain things that I would like to see. And this was sparked by the tips and tricks video that I did, because there was a lot of things where I'm like, oh, this would be so much nicer if it was like this, or this would be a lot easier if it had this, you know. And I'm like, oh man, you know, there's like, so like some of them are even really little changes that I've been talking about, where like that I've been thinking about, where I'm like, wow, this would not even take a developer like a day to do, and it would help a lot of people with a lot of stuff. Like that particular item that I'm thinking of is the map icons for the resource nodes. Like, it would be really nice to have maybe different colored ones, even where like this mithril node up here, this mithril ore, instead of being just a regular gray, maybe have it like, you know, mithril has a little bit blue, so have it like turn it a little bit blue so it looks different so you can see it, and give the orichalcum like an orange hue, so that when I'm looking around the maps, like the cypress maybe, you know, for elderwood they could make it a little bit darker, like a dark brown, and just have like these subtle changes where I can see on the map, okay, I don't have to hover over it. I know this is mithril versus orichalcum or platinum or whatever. You know, platinum, they could have it a little bit brighter or a little bit more silvery. I don't know, like that was like the change. That was the thing that I was thinking about that kind of like sparked that whole thing. But yeah, but I've been the change about the Ventari. Oh god, I didn't mean to do that. Mount up. I knew he was coming after me too. God damn, scary. The change that I was talking about with the Ventari tablet was that I think it should be a little bit more automated in the way that it moves around. I wish that it would move automatically to maybe the lowest health, like the team member that has the lowest health, like move towards that team member, and that way you don't necessarily have to pay attention to you know, to who is the lowest at the current moment, like at the moment. And I think that would like really open up a lot of stuff. Like you can still have it where you can command it to move, for example, and then if you move it, it by itself can't move. It's like on a cooldown of like 5, like there's an internal cooldown of like 5 seconds or something where it can't move on its own, as to not cancel what you're telling it to do. So if you're you know, it's moving to the lower guy, but that's not who you're trying to heal, because that guy has moved out of range of the boss that's trying to attack it, you know, and he's safe, he's not going to die. But there's another guy that might die who has a little bit more health than the other guy, but your tablet is moving to the lower guy who's out of the field, you know, of the enemy. You could have it where you could tell it to go there, and then it's not allowed to move from that spot until you, like, your recharge is back up on the moving the tablet, so that you always at any time have the ability to control the tablet still like regular, but it also is automated if you want to just leave it. That way it gives you time to concentrate on the actual battle, and that way you have like, okay, you know, there's a lot of like jumping out of the way, or there's a lot of stuff going on, we have to move around, and I don't have to worry about where the tablet is at right now, because if someone is going to get hit and their you know, their HP goes like way down, my tablet is automatically going to move to them, and I don't have to worry about that. And I can just hit that button where, like, you know, it does like the splash heal around it. I'm like, it'll heal all the people that are around this guy, and it's definitely going to heal that guy that's like really low or whatever, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna make that video. I'm just trying to find really what it is for me specifically on that video. Is I don't have enough substance for that video. I have like 3 things that I've thought of that I've written down on my notes, where I'm like, okay, these are changes, but I'm like, does that really warrant a video? Like, I want to have like 10 things on there, you know? So if you have any ideas, you can always shoot me ideas if there's totally something that you'd like to see. Now, I don't know, with the gyros, like what did they make? The change originally were that they were wells, and now they have it where they happen around you, or they like, what's the change that they did? I don't play engineer, okay? I will say this: I have one engineer. I play him for World versus World, and that's it. So I don't know the changes for that. I don't know how they work now. So, but yeah, that's kind of the change that I had come up with, where I think that, I don't know, where I just think that that would be really nice to have it automatic. And the reason I say this, again, this is based off of a different MMO, Final Fantasy XIV, who has the Scholar. And the scholar profession in that game has a little fairy friend that passively heals, but they always heal whoever has the lowest health, and you don't have to worry about who they're healing. And then you have abilities that happen around the fairy for like the whole team or whatever that you can activate, and that's great, which kind of is the same way for the tablet. The problem is, and I think that if you were to look at it, if you were to look at a scholar in Final Fantasy XIV and they were to tell you, oh yeah, you have to move the fairy by yourself, that would be a freaking nightmare. Okay, like doing trials and stuff in that game, I would not want to have to move my fairy around on top of having to move myself around. And if they were to make that one little change, honestly, I would probably play a support, like I would main a support Revenant. Like I would probably, my main would be changing from a Mesmer to a Revenant 100%. Like a hard yes. Just because it would make this whole class so much easier, this whole thing so much easier, and I feel like it's such a simple change. You know, it's not that much to ask to have the yes, no worries. Okay, cool. We have a new person in the guild. I haven't done this yet. I should probably open this up. Do I have enough to get? I have 3 keys. I have 23. I need 2 more. Let me get 2 more before I open this real quick. Okay, there's 1 down here. Okay, I got 1 there. Come on, give me 1 more. Somewhere. Have I been down here? I don't know. Oh, that's a dead end. That's great. Nice. Yeah, but I don't know if I like the idea of having that follow you around, because then again, God, I keep on going into the same corner. I'm trying to get out of here. How do I get out of here? Is there a way here that I can go to the left? Nope. I see a thing up there. How do I get there? What the heck? How do you get up there? God, leave me alone. No. Haha, motherfucker. Ha ha ha. Run! Mount up! He's coming. Okay. Mount up, please. Oh, there's one right there. There's one right there. Okay. Alright, I should have enough now to do this real quick. I can open it 4 times, which is fantastic, because that's a lot of rare loot that I'm gonna get out of this. Just gotta wait a couple minutes here. So awesome, almost done with Head of the Snake. Head of the Snake is like my favorite release still in the game, like ever. Super ever. But yeah, I think, I don't know, because having it like on you, like I love the idea of having the tablet, right? I think it's super, like that's a unique thing to have. Like it's not like, I don't know, because I feel like if this were to be like stuff that happens around you, you kind of become like a firebrand. Wow, that was really close there on the time, right? Because the firebrand, when it heals, it heals around itself, right? You put down, you get your F2, the virtue, the book out or whatever, and 25. Yeah, look at all this loot, guys. Reba is worth it. Okay, Reba is totally worth it. If you're looking for loot, if you're looking for mats, if you're looking for stuff to like do Reba, friends. You get a ton of stuff. But yeah, I just think, I don't know, like I just think that the tablet is a great idea. They just didn't execute it very well. And I think just that one, like they should just, it's like, I get it. It's super like doing it how Square Enix is doing with the Scholar and stuff, but I just think that that works better, because the problem with the tablet is that the AoE healing, like, it's too small. The ring on the tablet is tiny. And I remember, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? I was playing my support Revenant in Fractals. Whenever we were doing Fractals the other day, and I was playing. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna bring my, you know, permanent alacrity, like support rev, like it's gonna be super fun to play. And then I remember minion was dying right next to me, and I like tried to send the tablet, and I literally tried to send it like in between two people so I could heal both of them, and I ended up getting like the one person, but then she got downed and my tablet was on like cooldown and I couldn't move it over, and I'm like, there's nothing I can do right now. Like literally she's about to be down, she's about to die, and me as the healer in the group, I can't do anything because my skill right now is on cooldown. And it's like, what the heck? Like it's so lame, it's so boring, like, because the AoE was just too small. She was like right outside, like the ring was like right there, and she was like literally right outside of it. And I was like, I could have healed her for like 5,000 and gotten her way back up, but that didn't happen. I don't know. It's just, I just think they need to work on that. Same with Tempest, yeah, exactly. You know, and then becomes, when you look at those healing builds, they all become very generic, like kind of the same, right? Because with the Tempest, you do around you, you know, you have your little, you activate your water attunement, and you have the swirl around you, and it's all around you, and you just have to worry about where you are, and that's, you know, I've been like, it sounds like a kind of a contradiction because that's what I've been talking about, but in the healing aspect, it's like they all look the same that way. They all feel the same when you do it. Where, you know, whereas like I feel like the Revenant has something unique going because you have this tablet. And that's such a unique aspect because there's no other spec. There's no other, like, and this is not even an elite spec. This is like a regular like spec, right? This is a regular like line that they have in there. You know, regular skills or whatever that anyone can equip, and it feels so different into, like, it doesn't feel like a minion, right? Because you have that, you have the minion-y feel with, you know, with like your pet, like as a ranger you have your pet, which is kind of like your minion, and then you have minions with like your necromancer, but then you also have the elementalist, the elementals that you can summon. They're kind of like your minions, you know, if you like, because the other day I saw a guy who had like 5 of them following him around. I'm like, that's like almost like a necromancer minion mancer. It's really cool. I love that. It's cool because it's like the same thing, but in like in a different, like, you know, it's not a necromancer, it's an elementalist that's doing the same kind of thing. So that's cool. But I just think that the tablet is so unique. Like no one has that. It's not really minion, and it's like this like object that can't be attacked or whatever, but you can explode it yourself in order to bring out more healing and stuff. I don't know. I just think that it's very unique in what it does, and it should be treated differently. So. Yeah. So, and then I know they've been looking, you know, they went back and like changed so much on the Ventari line, but it still doesn't feel good. And it's interesting because I remember when they brought in the alacrity thing, and people were like, oh, alacrity was supposed to be like a chronomancer thing or whatever they were saying, you know, it's supposed to be like exclusively on that. I'm like, nothing is exclusive. Barrier wasn't exclusive to Scourge, yada yada yada, you know what I mean? And I'm okay with them spreading the love around like that. I think it's okay if it fits the theme of that elite spec or whatever, which I think like alacrity on the Mirage, like it fits in a way, I think, because you're kind of like warping space around yourself, so you're making yourself like faster. I think it works in a way. But then people were like, oh, this is like the next best thing because it's alacrity. And I'm like, yeah, but the healing aspect of it still sucks. Like, the tablet still sucks butthole. Like, it's not good. And I want it to be good because I was so excited because, you know, with Heart of Thorns, we brought in the Druid. And I didn't really like the Druid. I like the Druid now. and I haven't really gone back and played it. My only issue with it is it feels like a spec that shouldn't have a pet. They should completely remove the pet for it, which, you know, now we have Soul Beast, so now people are like, well, we already have a spec that doesn't have a pet. I'm like, yeah, I know, but for the druid specifically, like, it's annoying to have a pet in a lot of instances because, like, the stats on it are already crap, and like it's just, I don't know, theme wise doesn't really, like, I don't know, it just doesn't really. So I was never huge on the druid because it has a pet. I don't think a druid should be a pet class, in my opinion. If you do like a shaman, maybe, but not a druid, I don't think. But that's, I don't know, that's like a weird, that's like my own thing, my own personal thing. I get it why some people like it and stuff. I don't know, but so I never got on board with that. But then I love the idea of, I love Ventari as a Guild Wars 1 player. I always loved Ventari, and I love that the Savari, you know, were like influenced by him, and I love that he was like this peace loving, you know, wise centaur and stuff, and I always love that. I think it's really cool. Like, it reminds me a little bit of like the Deku tree from like Zelda, where that's like, you know, the you know, they're completely different beings, but they kind of serve almost the same purpose of being like this wise, this wise, like, old creature in the forest that kind of like is about like protecting and like peace loving. Like, I love that. It's a cool thing, you know. So I was all about like, oh my god, we're getting to channel Ventari, and it looks like, when you look at the UI and stuff, it looks really pretty and stuff. I was all about it, but I'm like, I could, you know, I still can't. After all these years, I can't get behind on it. I'm like, how the fuck are you supposed to properly heal with this? It doesn't do that good. It just doesn't. Hold on, Towser. I don't know why I didn't Reaper. That's okay.
I owe you my life.
Oh, that's great. That's good. Well, I'm glad you got that done. That boss was a pain in the ass. It can be really annoying, honestly. Because there's like a lot going on. You know, you have all that stuff coming from the ceiling and stuff, so it's really annoying. So I totally, yeah, totally not a fan. Totally not a fan of that. So the opinions have changed. The opinions have very much changed from Tuesday all the way to now. Virtuoso has won. I'm pretty sure Virtuoso won out on the thing, which is interesting because I remember that's the one that I was most excited about, and everyone was like, Virtuoso, no, Willbender, that's gonna be the one. And I was like, really? Because, and I'm not trying to say that, oh, called it or whatever, or trying to say that like I'm smarter than everyone or anything like that, but I remember watching the live stream and I hated everything about it. I hated everything about it. I hated everything about the Willbender, and I was like, so you have AoEs, but they're not really AoEs. They're these tiny little flames on the ground, but they don't really do anything. And then I'm like, when he was playing it, like the numbers weren't that great and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'm not excited for this. And everyone was like, oh my god, it's gonna be so OP, it's gonna be so strong, like in the Twitch chat at the time. And I was like, really? Am I like not looking at this the right way? Like, I was watching it on my phone at work. Like, it was like right before I started work, so I was like hanging out at work and I was watching it, and I was like, is it because I'm watching on a little screen and like I can't really take it all in or whatever because there's like a million things happening around me, and so, you know, people are trying to talk to me or whatever, blah blah, so I'm not like really paying attention to what's going on. But I never was excited about the Willbender. From the beginning I was just like, no, this doesn't seem right. I'm like, and then everyone's like, well, it's a PvP spec, and I'm like, okay, I can see that. But then even now people are like, well, even for a PvP spec it sucks. I'm like, well, I called it, but it's fine, you know, whatever. The complaints that I saw, which I have to like agree with, the number one complaint that I saw that I agree with was specifically the clunkiness of the skills. They're like supposed to like make you feel like you have all this freedom of movement, and they kept on saying, like, in the stream even, they kept on saying assassin, 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 right? So people compared it to the mobility of a daredevil, and though it might have the mobility of a daredevil, they're really clunky because a lot of the skills root you in place, and like it's really weird. Like a lot of like there's that spinny kick that you have, you spin, but you can't change your direction as you spin, so you go like in one direction that you've already set. Then it's like apparently when you hit your like F1, and this is all like me reading other people's stuff, like I'm not that knowledgeable on all the like different like the things. I didn't play it. I only played it for the like hour or two that I did that on stream. So I don't know, but people were like, it takes way too long for the you hit the F1, and I didn't know that F1 was a flip over skill for the Willbender. I had no idea. People were like, it takes way too long for the F1 flip over skill to actually happen. Then people were saying that the which I have noticed that the healing skill was bugged. Like it said that anytime you got hit, you would heal while the channel was going on, and it or while you had that skill activated or whatever, and it didn't. And so many times I was like, did it just like activate it too early or activate it too late or something? And then no, it was literally like it's bugged, so that felt like crap. So there was a lot of clunkiness going on, and a lot of people were complaining about specifically those things, you know, where they like felt clunky and it didn't feel very fluid, and a lot of stuff rooted you in place where it's like supposed to, like, none of the skills flow together. And I remember that too. Like I remember playing that and I was like, these, I don't know, these don't feel like they flow together really well. What was the other complaint? There was something about like F3, something about the way that when you land it does something specific, and it doesn't feel good or something. So yeah, overall Willbender felt not like good, and it's just, I don't think it's a PvE spec. But you know, to be honest, like Spellbreaker was supposed to be a PvP spec as well, and you can easily run that in PvE and be like really good. So I kind of feel like that's not a good excuse for it to say like, oh, well, it's a PvP spec, so it's not supposed to be good in open world. I feel like at this point, with the power creep and the way like every class has access to almost every boon and stuff, that it should still feel like you should still be okay with running that in open world or whatever. So Harbinger, on the other hand, some people were, I kind of disagreed on that stuff, where people were like, oh, the numbers are way OP. Someone was like, oh, I did like a Berserker setup, and I had everything Berserker, and it didn't feel good. It was like way too overpowered. The numbers were like crazy. I was getting like these crazy numbers. I'm like, really? I'm like, I didn't get those. I'm like, I was playing a Berserker Harbinger at some point. I'm like, it didn't feel that overpowered. So I was like, okay, I don't know, maybe I'm just not a good player, which, you know, is very possible. It's like, I will always admit I'm not a super pro like numbers guy, like never ever ever. So, but yeah, I don't know, I just, the Virtuoso I really liked. Like I said, my only problem was the sustainability of like in combat. I dodged twice, and I have one heal skill on like a 20-something second cooldown, and that's it for my sustainability. So, cause like distortion doesn't even put distortion on you anymore, so you can't even rely on that anymore. So it's just kind of like, okay, you're taking that away too. So, but yeah, if they fix those, wait, did I get all of, oh wow, I got all of them already. Can I sell those? No. Okay. But yeah, if they fix some of that, I think Virtuoso will be great. And I liked Harbinger. Some people thought it was kind of, you know, the problem was, and I kind of agree with that, I think it was kind of dumb of them to say that they're going to be like, oh, it's heavily influenced by the, like, you know, all the elite specs are heavily based on lore and like where they are in the world and stuff. And some people were like, how the fuck is the Harbinger feel like anything in the world there besides the, like, you know, the auto attack in the Shroud had like the movement with the hands where it looks like you're doing like some kind of kung fu thing or whatever. And that was like about it. There was like nothing really that screamed like Cantha, you know, or even Asian. You know, there was nothing like Asian inspired, and I think like they kind of dug their own hole there by saying that. But I, you know, I don't take them too serious on those things, honestly. I'm just kind of like, because I think a lot of stuff in this game comes from fashion wars too. So it's not necessarily like, you know, you can make an Asian looking Harbinger, and you can give it Asian looking weapons, and that way you can make it really feel like influenced by Cantha or whatever, you know. I mean, we have plenty of outfits and stuff that look like, that are like Canthan inspired and stuff, so there's no way why you couldn't make that still a thing.
You rarely see them.
But yeah, I mean, it's like, oh, and then someone said Virtuoso doesn't even have like a Canthan, like it's not even close to like a Canthan name or whatever. Which that's kind of true, because I guess it's like based on like Spanish or something, Spanish, Italian or something. I think someone said it was like based on Italian, and they're like, okay, so they're saying that these are all like Canthan inspired, and they're heavily on the lore, and then the name is not even like the skills, because the like whole idea of having like magical blades and stuff, like blade songs and stuff, that's something you see in like these old like martial artists like Asian movies and stuff, you know. But the name Virtuoso just doesn't fit, and I like super agreed with that. As everyone knows, I don't like the name Virtuoso, and they should have really gone with like Blade Dancer. I think the name Blade Dancer would have been 100 times better, because everything is based on blade. Like, what about it makes it a virtuoso? Like, virtuoso implies something with virtues, right? Or something virtuitous, but it's not. How does the anything in that trait line have to do with that? There's nothing really that has anything to do with that. But everything to do with blades. You have blade songs, or your new F skills, and your new abilities are all called blades, and everything is about blades and swords. So a blade dancer would have been probably much better, and it fits a mesmer because it's a dancer, you know, and it's you know, you make your blades dance around the enemy or whatever. I mean, that's kind of like, that would have fit so much better. So Mind Blade, that would have been good too. Just something with blade in it, because you know, it's all about the it's all about the like blades and that whole setup. It has nothing to do with virtuosos, so that seems really strange to me. So I think Boots is on to something there, definitely. Like, that's a much better name for it. Mind Blade. I don't know, Mind Blade. I don't know. You know, it's not a bad name. It just, Mind Blade seems more like a skill name to me rather than a elite spec name, if that makes any sense. Mind Blade, isn't Mind Blade even a skill? Isn't there something that's like a Mind Blade? Like, I'm thinking of maybe like greatsword skills. Isn't there something that's called Mind Blade or something? I don't know. Something along those lines. But yeah, I think anything but Virtuoso. Virtuoso just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the theme. It doesn't fit the area that we're going to. And it has like, I don't know. It just doesn't. It does that. Yeah. So, you know, even the icon is like 3 blades. Like, everything down to the icons, the flares, you know, the blades you build above your head, the blade songs you use as your F abilities, the 1 through 3 on your dagger. Like, you don't even get any weapon that's like, okay, maybe that's what it's based off of, like the weapon that it's using. No, it's using literally a short blade. Like, a dagger. You know, that's a blade, and the attacks are called blades, and the utility skills are all about blades, and you know there's psionic skills. Okay, but that has nothing to do with virtue or virtuoso. So,
I won't go down so easily.
is that what it's based off of? Is that because I have no idea what virtuoso means? Screams music. Oh, yeah, okay. A virtuoso is a person highly skilled in music or in another artistic pursuit. I didn't know that. That's interesting. So, yeah, so it's a music-based name. That's even worse because there's nothing well, they call it Blade songs, but there's no songs that are being played.
Returning to normal parameters.
So I see where they're trying to tie that into being a virtuoso because they're Blade songs. But you don't play music. And they could still leave it as Blade songs, the F abilities. Like, I don't mind that too much. That's so strange. It, to me, in a weird way, like, you know, and, oh, there's a legendary right here. Yeah. Does this maybe, like, indicate that they were maybe trying to come from, like, somewhere else where they were trying to do, like, a music-based thing? Is that, do you guys think that? Do you guys think that that's maybe evidence of, like, the remainder of, like, they tried to do, like, a minstrel kind of thing? And then they ended up, like, going towards blades because maybe they came up with, like, skill names or something, or even skills they wanted to do, and a lot of it had to do with, like, blades and stuff. And then that's kind of like, or maybe they tried to do like a minstrel and it wouldn't fit in the Canton lore, but they liked the name Virtuoso and stuck with it or something. I don't know. That would be interesting to know. That would be an interesting tidbit. I just hate the name. Right from the get-go, you guys can look back at that live stream. I covered that live stream, and the first thing I said, I was like, I hate the name Virtuoso. I don't like it, but I love the spec, so, you know, whatever. We're gonna shorten it anyways. We're gonna call it Ver. We're just gonna call it Ver for the rest of life. Just like, you know, Reaper is still Reaper, but then Revenant is Rev. Warrior is always like Warrior, but then you call it like Spellbreaker, so it's like SB. Druid is Druid. What else do you have? Firebrand. Well, Firebrand, you have like Firebrand, and you have like Quick Brand and Heal Brand. You know, or FB for Firebrand. I don't know. Oh my god, let's not push them that far away. Jesus Christ. Music was so good. Music was so good. Heart of Thorns has amazing music. It's like Auric Basin has like all the best songs. Ooh, I got 2 shovels in one? Wow. Dang, that's a first in like history for me ever. In all the many years of farming silver waste, I think that's the first time ever this has happened for me. How many shovels do I have? 11 shovels. Look at that. Da, da, da. No, I want a part of this. I want some part of this. There we go. Good enough for me. That gold. I don't like doing the rubble things. The rubble events are annoying. Take too long. But yeah, I don't know. You know, the naming, like I look at Willbender, right? And Willbender obviously is supposed to be based off of like what Shiro was, right? Shiro was supposed to be that for the Emperor. He was supposed to be a Willbender, but they like never say that in lore. So, and I think, I don't know, is it just me or does that like, because it kind of in a way almost, when you look up assassin and like the Guild Wars 1 like wiki or whatever, they talk about the like history of assassins, and it kind of like is a little bit like in that same kind of like area of what the assassins were in like ancient Cantha. So it's like, are they trying to say like we're not gonna get a ninja? I mean, I feel like we're not gonna get a ninja spec anyways, but I think that are they trying to substitute that as like the ninja spec because you get all that mobility and you get like an offhand sword and it's like quick and, you know, physical skills and stuff. Like, yeah, I haven't done that in a long time. I love that quest line. The Knight of the Thorn quest, so good. You know, and people didn't like Traherne because, you know, he was like Cormier 2.0, but I like I like both of them. I like them both. I don't know. I guess I'm not like all about like wanting fame like that, but I'm like, I don't know. I enjoy the adventure for what it is, and I like them both as characters. So I miss Traherne. I miss Traherne in the story. Yeah, they could have probably handled it a little bit different. I agree with that, but ooh, someone activated the bombardment. Yeah, I killed them all. All right. Was there a new chest up? There is a couple chests actually here. This one here. So, what's everyone most excited for based on like the people that have seen the leaks and without leaking the actual weapons? Please don't do that. I've been trying to dance around that all night too, but which ones are you most excited for based on what you have read? And if you haven't seen the leaks and you're interested, you can message me on Discord because I have a picture. I saved the picture. I was like, ooh, there we go. So that I have it, because I know I'm going to find myself looking for it at some point in time, and I'm like, I can't find it. I don't know I don't know which one was which. Ooh, there's a chest right inside of this guy. Right next to this guy. Hey, guy. Let's kill him. Yeah, yeah. Dead. Alright, let's go. Reaper is really powerful. Reaper is really strong, guys. If you're looking for an easy class to play in PvE that doesn't take a ton of learning and gives you a lot of freedom to do a lot of things, Reaper. Listen, I want to make a healing Reaper. It probably sounds ridiculous, but I feel like maybe like a, I don't know, not super supporty, but you know, because you have the Bloodline, and the Bloodline has a lot of stuff, but I don't like playing Scourge, so no. Probably not a good idea. Oh yes, not even talk about that. The Jackal Skin. This is actually the one that Raygun and Minion gave me for my birthday a couple years ago now. It is the Mirror Masked. It's pretty much the Mesmer one, because you have the little butterflies that come out, and it portals like the Mesmer kind of. Well, it looks more like a Revenant portal, but it kind of shatters. But it has little butterflies that follow you. The Mirror Mask. But it has like really interesting dye channels, I think too. I didn't dye it very well this time around, but because you know, you have like that, and then you have the ability to dye your let's do them pink. The butterflies, you can dye them like really bright so that they like pop really well. You know, I can make these purple butterflies, and then you can have the I wish there was another dye channel where I could have the actual body 2 different colors. That would be really nice. Oh, cool. You can get this event. Yeah. Sand, shield us. I like it. I haven't heard it. Like I said, I have turned this off. These are all lines that I haven't heard. That's a Scourge, right? Is that a Scourge? It's this person right here. Yeah, Scourge. Hold on, let me read chat here. If they can make it good, with the Elementalist. If they can make that, if they can make it good, I don't know if I'm huge on the idea. I would just have to see the actual spec, because based on the weapon, I can't imagine what they're gonna do with it. So I will have to see it in person. I don't want to say one thing or another, because I feel I got another 2 shovels. Is it based on like, am I getting just a ton on this? Is that why I'm getting them? Because I have like a super high like magic find right now, because I have this as well right now, which gives me 100. I have my 273 through my achievements, plus this, which gives you 150, plus this, which gives you another 50, so it's another 200, so it's an extra 300 on top of my 200. So I'm at like 573 plus this, which gives me 15. So that's 588. If I did that math right, I don't know. Who knows? Oh yeah, that's right. You can change them for Unbound Magic. That's right. I don't know what happened to mine. I think some character has that. Did I not open this? I thought I opened this. I don't know. My brain doesn't work. I'm like, what did I just do 2 minutes ago? I don't remember. I don't know what happened to my weapon. I know you can like redo the quest to get more of the weapons, but yeah, I don't know. All right, Breach is coming up. Where are we going? We're gonna go. It doesn't matter. Red Rock Bastion, maybe again. I'm trying to see if there's more like Mordrim that we can fight here, because sometimes they have the veterans that pop up here. I can do this one real quick. I am Death Incarnate. Die. Die, friend. Die. Oh, the breach. Wow, that was really quick. I didn't realize that was going to come so fast. I didn't realize that was going to come so fast. Jump in! Woo! Okay. I'm the first one in. Woo! Yeah, they're pretty skins too. I really like the flowery feel of them. You know, I think ArenaNet always goes a lot of like, they do a lot of fiery stuff in a lot of their like skins, armor skins, a lot of the weapon skins. They're all like fiery. You know, you always get like, ooh, fiery bow skin, ooh, fiery warhorn skin, ooh, fiery dagger, ooh, fiery sword, ooh, fiery this, ooh, fiery that. A lot of stuff is like fiery that they release. So the ones that are not fiery, I'm like, oh, all about it, you know. And that's like the antithesis of like fiery is like planty, you know. You like planty stuff. Wow, that was really quick. Oh my god, I'm dying. Hobble away, friend. You can do it. That's why I love this axe, you know, because I talked about this before too, because I think between like the fiery stuff, or next to the fiery stuff, the other stuff they do is all like shiny stuff, right? They have like, ooh, the glittering sword of the ancients or whatever, you know, and it's like the shiny, like a beacon of light that you have, where I think like specifically like this axe skin, like it's dark and I don't know, it's just really cool. It's like a cool axe skin, you know. Inigo Cape. Oh, the escort failed. I was like, what? Wow, we finished all of them all at the same time. That was a really good breach. Look at all the loot, guys. Oh, look, I got Death Wish. Nice. That's a good. That reminds me of Guild Wars 1, just finding like staffs all over, and that was like the one staff for the necromancers. 15 shovels. Let's do the sand. I need geodes too, because I have never finished the like the what is it, the dry top, the weapons you get there. I forgot what they're called, the ambrite weapons or whatever. I never finished that, so I'm looking for geodes as well. Where are geodes? They're somewhere in here, aren't they? They're right in here. 500. That's good. That's good. We'll do the first one this time around. Ooh, there's a chest. Yeah, Reva is really good money.
That's valuable.
Can I sell those? Does this sell for anything? Wow, not even a gold. I mean, the skin isn't that great. It's just a cool callback to. I don't know. This is a cool necromancer. I hate necromancer staff though. Necromancer staff needs a revamp. Like, okay. In this video, we're talking about the quality of life changes, right? And I don't know if I should be more specific. I have talked about this before on my wish list last year. My wish list for Christmas that I had. I wanted to talk about, or I talked about changing some older skills. There was the one that I always fall back on is the elementalist, water attunement, weapon skill 4 for the focus, which is probably, in my opinion, the most useless skill in the game. It does like 3 seconds of chill, if that. It's like 2 or 3 seconds of chill. It does like 136 damage, and it's on like a 20-second cooldown. That's all that skill does. Doesn't do anything else. It's like the most useless skill because you can get chill from everything else that you do on the freaking on the elementalist, especially if you're in water magic. You can get a ton of chill on a lot of stuff. You can even get like a sigil that gives you on crit that gives you like chill on the enemy, and you don't even need it at that point. Like, you know, so that's always my go-to skill where I'm like, I really want them to look at older skills and remake them. And the best example for that, I think, that where it was really nice they did that, was like the Guardian staff. Like they didn't redo all of the weapon skills on the Guardian staff, but on a lot of those skills. And the weapon feels really good now, and it feels much different now than it did before, in a good way. I think it's a much better weapon now that they have changed them around, and I think that's a really nice way to maybe even do balance in the game. You don't necessarily have to look at the skills and say, oh, we need to change all these numbers around, but maybe change the actual skill itself in order to balance it. You know, make it updated to like the standard of, you know, the game is 9 years old. There are skills that haven't been touched since 2012. They need to be touched. They need to be touched. They need to be touched, guys. But no, seriously, like I think, so in that video that I want to talk about, maybe I'll talk about that as well, about some skill changes where I think specifically Necro Staff, I'm not saying it's bad. I know that like on some builds you run like staff, but it's 4 marks on the ground and an auto attack. It is the most boring like weapon in the game. It is so lame. And I love staff, like, you know, I love my mage types and stuff, but what's the point of that? Like having 4 marks, it's like that's the same as if they were to make the Guardian, like, no, did anyone build a honeycomb? Oh, they did over there. I was like, I did not pay attention to building a honeycomb. Oh, y'all gonna die. Haha, look at them, they're all dying. I think that like it would be the equivalent of having like 4 symbols and like an auto attack of like 1 orb that you send out on a Guardian staff. Like that, people would hate that. It's a boring. I don't know why not more people complain about that. It's a boring I got kicked out. Like, I totally forgot that we were gonna get kicked out. I was like very upset for a second. I was like, why am I getting kicked out? I remember I used to DC like way back in the beginning. People would DC when that happened. They would get kicked out and DC from the map, and they would get pissed off. That's a weird icon, isn't it? These like purple bombs with the purple barrels. Yeah, you know, and you know, and the thing with that is like the short bow has only been out for like a short time. You know, the short bow hasn't been out for that long. where it would, you know, yes, they changed it for a good way, but I think there's like other weapons that would need it more. They've done some changes to the like Revenant staff too, over the years. Not necessarily changed the skill. Like I think they had the 2 skill was like a flip over skill. It used to be like a flip over skill. It's not anymore, or something like that. Like you know, I just think they need to look at those older skills a lot. You know, like I said, I think in particular, a lot of the Elementalist stuff, because the Elementalist has so many skills just based off of having 4 attunements, and you get like 5 sets of weapon skills with every weapon that they have, you know. I'm sorry, like four sets of 5, so 20 skills with every weapon set, you know. And I think a lot of them could use the like update. You know, I really think that you know, and people always say like, oh well, you know, investing in old content, like that's just a way. I'm like, I don't see that as a way though, because if you refresh these things, then that becomes new content. That becomes content that people want to play. You know, the same argument to me is like, or for me is like the beginner maps. The beginner maps haven't been touched like at all. Well, we did get the tutorial section in the achievements, which I really I like. You know, I talked about this in my latest video and stuff. I really enjoy those, but you know, the actual content on those maps hasn't been touched really. Yeah, we have the Joko invasions. No new player knows what that means, and most new players will just die to them anyways because it's way too hard for new players to do a lot of that stuff. But I think a lot of that stuff could be updated, and I don't think it's a waste, because you're trying to get new people into the game, right? You're trying to get new people to play the game, so you want to update older stuff because that's what they're going to play first, you know, and you want to leave a good impression. I know a lot of people that have left the game because they start the game, and I think we see this all the time on like Reddit and stuff. We see those posts all the time where people play the game and they play it until like level 20, and they don't know if they really like the game because it feels very like, you know, it doesn't really feel that good anymore. And then people tell them, no, you have to play to like level 80, like, you know, enjoy your first, like a lot of people boost theirs because they don't want to level through and stuff. But it's like, I don't know, I just wish for people to have a better like leveling experience maybe. And I think looking at the starter maps in particular, or maybe going through, like I said, I've had this idea before where it's like, it always when people say like, oh, look back at old content, it always implies that everything has to be revamped, like they tried to do with the new player experience. And it doesn't have to be like that. You could do like every half year you update one of the maps, one of the old maps. Every half year you just update it. And you're like, okay, you know, and then you can add some new achievements, maybe for like us veterans to go back and help new people with those maps or whatever. And kind of update those older maps and just go through all the core maps, like, you know, or not every half year, maybe every 3 months, and then you change 4 maps in a matter of a year, you know. And that's, you know, maybe that takes a long time, but at least that would be something new for new people to come in as well. Like it makes it feel fresh, it makes it feel maybe better to play or whatever. You know, power creep is still a thing, and I think that's still very evident in a lot of the early maps now. They don't there's no challenge to them. The NPCs just auto attack constantly, and it's like teaches you nothing about the game later on and stuff. So I don't know. Yeah, Guardian Hammer, good point. Guardian Hammer feels super outdated, doesn't it? A lot of the skills are very like, you know, how are you gonna land the like ring around you? Like, how are you gonna trap enemies in there? It feels very clunky, right? And the last update they did to it was the oh yay, we did it. The last update they did to that was they changed that one trait that changes them to like chill, where they like attacks chill now or something. Wasn't that something that they did where it was like, oh, now it chills It chills. And I'm like, that's super counterintuitive to what the Guardian is, because the Guardian is like a fiery, like a blue fire knight, and now you're having these attacks chill. I'm like, that was kind of strange. But I like the direction of having. I always like the idea, and I talk about this all the time, where certain traits change skills like completely. I love the one where they have it for the Scourge, and or not the Scourge, but for the Scepter 3 skill on the Necro, where it like changes to like, what is it, like to an AoE or something that it does, where it, like it even changes the icon when you have that trait. Like, I love that. Or I love the idea of how the Revenant, the Trident, which was also a new weapon they added, right? The Trident was a new weapon they added recently. Recently, I say it's been a while now, but mostly recently, where the depending on which legend you have, you do different things. You know, you apply what is like weakness on one, and then like vulnerability on another one. It's like nothing groundbreaking, but it's so interesting because that leaves you open to a lot of build possibilities where you can like change that around. So maybe really going from like having a line for the Guardian, you know, that same line wherever that trait is in, with the hammer skill or whatever, changing that whole line where it's like anytime you do like fire damage, you actually like do chill damage, and they could have like a skill like the Reaper has, where you do like extra damage on chilled foes or something, and like really build on like a different condition beside fire damage or something. I don't know, just as an idea. But I like trades that like change up certain skills, and I like the idea of the Revenant, like I said, different legends giving you different skills. They should lean on that way more with the Revenant, way more. It should be for every weapon like that. For every weapon, it should be like that. You could have every weapon be a Condi weapon if you're in Malix. That would be amazing. That would give you so much build possibilities, where you could have like a different setup. But now you're like, you have to be a short bow and an axe mace. Like, you know, I think that would be interesting for me, like specifically talking about the Revenant, you know, where you could have like the staff, and while you're in Shiro, it's just solely damage based. So instead of like on the 4 skill of the staff doing like an AoE heal, you do like an AoE like knockdown with like a ton of damage on it or something, you know. Or having the like orbs that are being generated, instead of having them heal, having them apply like burn or something when you're in Malix. I mean, I don't know. I think that idea, it's so unique to the Revenant that you have like different legends that you can channel, that they need to embrace that more. And they did a great job with the Trident, I think. You know, so, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. A lot of those older skills, you know, going back to the original argument, a lot of those older skills really need to be looked at. They really need to be looked at. All right, I'm going back into the Labyrinth because the Labyrinth is fun to me, so... Goodbye, train people. Look at that, guys. I'm already full again on this. Gotten so many that I'm like almost full. Yeah. Well, it worked. I think it, like, you know, I'm not like, underwater combat is not very, like, people don't do it. Like, you know, we all know people don't. Really, that event still hasn't changed from the last round that I did. That happened like 40 minutes ago. I'm gonna finish this real quick before I go under there. I want to finish it. I want to get this waypoint. But I think they added that, and I remember looking at the skills and I was like, it changes based on the legend. I'm like, that is so cool, because I think the Revenant has, you know, with the Ventari tablet alone, but I think in the way that it is, where you channel these people from the mists, I think has potential to really be super unique as a class in an MMO. And that in particular, wouldn't that be amazing? I mean, and you know, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not good at like the craft building, especially with underwater weapons. Not a lot of people do, but I think if you really sit down, you could have like a bunch of different builds. Really? I didn't realize someone was turning them in. I'll keep them for next time. Hey, Reba. Oh, no. Oh, no. Map full. Sage. Someone said Sage. But yeah, I think if you really look at the build crafting, you can make like way different builds on it. You know, and if they really embrace that idea on like based on which legend you have, you can make like it's literally almost endless possibilities for the Revenant at that point. Every weapon can be used for something. You know, you could have the you could have double sword, for example. You could have that being condition damage weapon. Like you could have it where instead of like immobilizing a foe on the force skill, it does like it take like with because it's like multiple attacks happen in a row. It's like what is it, like 8 attacks or something that happen in a row? I don't know, maybe 5 to 8. I don't remember the number there, but you could have that where that does damage and like burning each like each attack does like 2 seconds of burning, and you can stack like a ton of burning on it if you're in Malix, for example, or even in you know, they could have it where like it does torment on Malix and it does burning on Kala, so that you have like the option of having a damage build, you know, having a condition damage build and swap between the two legends. And even like, okay, maybe this situation, because this enemy stands still, calls more for torment because that's going to do more damage, but then hey, this enemy is moving, so let me swap over to Kala so I can do burning damage instead of torment, because this enemy is walking around, and you know, if he's like walking around a lot, moving around a lot, torment doesn't do as much. I don't know, it gives like this huge, like to me it's this huge idea of like they really miss out on that, where they already have it implemented for one weapon in the game and one weapon only, and it's not even used because it's underwater, and we have like no new underwater content at all. We haven't had any new underwater content in a very long time because they've been actively avoiding it. So I don't know, seems kind of missed opportunity there, huh? I think it's like, I know Arena isn't listening to this, but you know, spread the word, friends. It's like, God knows if I were to make a post on Reddit, I'd be just buried in dislikes or whatever they're called, downvotes. Downvote me to hell. You rarely see one of those. Well, I've been seeing a lot of these. Wow. Ah, you bastard. No. Ah, he got me. Alright, well, at least I have the waypoint open now, so I can go right back in there. Alright, give me at least one more. I need at least... Okay, I need 9 more. I need to open 9 more. Let's do it. We can do it. Gotta open 9 more chests. Ah! I can't believe I ran into him again. No. Run away. Oh, he's coming. Why are you? Wow, really? Do you see this? I was going to go to the flower and activate the skill. I didn't make it. I died right before. And the person that was standing next to me didn't even help. He just looked at me and saw me die. You could have used your one skill. Blah, blah, blah. Can't talk. I really want a burger right now. I'm hungry, guys. I ate taquitos right before I started, and I'm like, now I want more. But I want burger. I want a burger from Wendy's. I want a Wendy's burger. What's everyone's favorite, like, fast food? Around here, I will say, around where I live, the only decent fast food, and I say decent fast food, is Wendy's. I actually really like it because every time I go, their fries are really hot and their burgers are like really fresh. You can tell, and they're really delicious. And I go to Burger King or McDonald's and I hate my life. I don't like Arby's. I'm not an Arby's person. I've only eaten there a couple times, but I'm like, not about it. I do go to, we have only one, okay, listen. So, Gainesville is this college town about an hour away from me. And there is a smoothie place around every corner up there. Here, in this town where I live, an hour away from there, we have one. We have one in a like 30-mile radius, and I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. We only have one smoothie place, and their smoothies are great. So I go there, and I sometimes get like a flatbread. It's a tropical smoothie cafe. Their flatbreads are kind of like, they're nothing to like write home about, but they're not bad. So I get that with like banana, sometimes chips if I feel myself like daring. But I don't know. I'm a Wendy's person. I love Wendy's. I think their burgers are delish, and they don't give me the poops, so it's great. Because if I'm eating Burger King or if I'm eating McDonald's, I will be spending the rest of the evening on the toilet. And that's not fun. Unless you enjoy that. Unless that's your favorite pastime. Being on the toilet, then you can eat those. And have a good time. Have a good time playing your Nintendo Switch on the toilet. I don't do that too often. I kind of find that gross. I'm sitting in the bathroom and I'm like, I don't know, my bathroom isn't dirty or anything. I can't find any chests. What is this? Have I gotten all of them? There's no way. I miss so many of them all the time. I don't see any though. Maybe I'm going through like the same spots over and over again, but I'm talking about Wendy's, so I can't even think. Ooh, there's one. Oh, that's because the thing just reset. But yeah, I don't know. The idea of taking my Switch to the toilet is weird. Like, it's strange. I've done it a couple times, but I'm like, I don't know, I find it weird. And like I said, my bathroom isn't dirty, but I'm like, I don't know. It's still weird. Though then again, like, it's more normalized doing it with a phone, in my opinion. Where I do that with my phone all the time. But that's because like my phone is in my pocket, so it's like readily available, but then I will always wipe down my phone too. I'm always like, this is a great opportunity to clean my dirty, nasty phone. Because you know, those like smudges on there, God. Like, I don't know if anyone else has that, but I'm like, my phone gets gross sometimes. Oh my God. Okay, do I have enough? I gotta go back to the... I do have enough. Okay, I went way above and beyond there. Okay, I gotta open this before they block me out of it. How do I get back there? Open this. Oh, I went the wrong way. Oh my God. I still have time. I shouldn't panic. If I panic, I'm never gonna find my way. Can I go through there? Oh yeah, I can. That'll bring me right to the beginning. And then I can turn right, and then I can go up the hill. And there's no enemy here. Fantastic. This is great. This is great. It's a greater nightmare pod. And I have 3? Yes, I do. Oh, I can consume these.
You rarely see one of those.
Yeah, you rarely see one of those, sure. Not if you're doing Reba. See them all the time. Oh God, am I full again on these? I have to throw these out all the time. Yeah, look at that. I'm full already. In a matter of a day, like, I fill up 2,000 of these. It's insane. Ew. Just kidding. Well, it really depends on, like, what it's gonna be like. It really depends on what the spec is. Like I said, the idea of the weapon doesn't thrill me too much, but that doesn't say a lot, right? Because the weapon is like one aspect of like this whole thing where it's like trades and utility skills and mechanic, you know, and the mechanic, I think, out of all the different things is the most important part, because the mechanic is going to give you the feel of the class. And wow, look at that. The floor is loading. I could see all the way to the ground. Where I think, like, we going again, lads? Someone say it. I suppose I'll keep these on this character. I have 15 shovels. That's pretty good. Oh, they're attacking each other. Ooh, I want to see who wins. Who are we betting on, guys? That Twister is doing phenomenal. Ooh, he got punched. Oh god, he got knocked around. Oh. This is super fun. Twister is doing good. Oh. No, don't kill him. Okay. I want to see. Oh. Well, that Earth Elemental is really catching up. Wow, look at that. Close race. Oh, 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 but dust might spawn. Okay, so... Oh, but then you're coming after me? Ah, and he killed it. Okay, interesting. So the Earth Elemental wins against the Dust Mite Twister, but then because it spawns a Dust Mite enemy, it doesn't really win. So. Ooh, there's a chest over there. I didn't do the chest run up here, so I'm sure there's a bunch of chests that I haven't gotten yet. What the hell? What was that sound? There's a chest. There was a chest there. No one's doing the jungle tendril? Like, why are we not defeating these? You guys, like, it's so weird. Reba, you go for the chest, but you don't defeat the champions. And it's like the champions also give you, like, coin purses and stuff. Like, doesn't that make you money too? And they die so quickly if you do it as a group. I don't know, maybe I'm just complaining too much. See, someone is defeating this. I'm death incarnate. Go. Yeah. CCM. Yes, attack. Go, do it. Do it, do it, do it. No. Oh my good god. Get out of the, oh my god. Really, guys? Oh boy. Yes, go. Do it, do it, do it. No, 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 no. Back, back, back. Everyone back. Okay. I thought it was gonna do its thing, but it did the other ability, so. I'm an idiot, it's fine, bye. We won. That's all that matters. See, you get a noxious pod. Look at that. I'm back, way back up here again. On my things. And for the bots, what is this? Does anyone know binary? I learned binary recently, but I'm not that great. I can't read it or anything. Let's just say I didn't learn it. I took a course where they talked about binary. But they didn't like go into detail. Like you had to do like, there was tests and stuff. We had to do like certain things where they're like, oh, what does this mean? What does that mean? And I'm like, okay. And I wrote down like notes and stuff, and I read my notes. I was like, okay, this means that and this means that, but I didn't like learn anything. Like I didn't learn how to write binary code. Alright. No, 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 no. Alright, defeat him so we can, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Wow, look at that. I jumped right in. Boom. Boom. Alright. That was nice. We're just doing some quiet Reba here. Quiet night. I'll do the pacifist tomorrow, guys, and then Tuesday. What's Tuesday? What's happening Tuesday? Season 4? Season 4 is happening on Tuesday, so I'm excited for that. So I'll be doing that on Tuesday. I'll be hanging around Istan. Okay. Oh, you died. Well, that's because you suck. I'm just kidding. No. I'm telling you, Scourge is hard. I don't like playing Scourge. I don't know how you guys do it. You kind of lose a lot of your survivability, but you have to like keep casting your like you have to keep casting your barrier skills and stuff to survive. I think. I don't know. I'm not a good Scourge player, so I don't know. Alright, moving on. Ooh, there's a Mordrum here. I'm not missing out on that. They die so quickly. I'm all about it, friend. Ah! I was just kidding. You don't suck. We all suck in our own ways, I guess. It's okay to suck. I don't know. I would hate to not suck. If you were, imagine guys, if you were perfect at everything, wouldn't life be really boring? I don't know. If I was perfect at everything, there would be no point in living, I feel like, right? Super existential. Don't think about it too much because you're going to start crying. I always get that when I think about like really existential stuff. I'm like, oh my god, life is so meaningless. It's like, don't think about it too much. You'll just ruin your own life with that. Aw, well, thank you. I don't know. I'm not that great. This is really cool with the moon in the back there behind that palm tree. We could get rid of all this nasty. I don't know, the nasty, like the cool stuff that kind of like, this is a nice picture. Like I could see this being like a cool background, except for the rain there. That kind of sucks. But can you guys hurry up? I don't want to do any work. Where's the enemy that's still alive? What are you guys doing? Kill it. There's like 100 of you. They're all just standing here like me? What the hell? Watch. Oh, they got it. Finally. Jesus Christ. See, doesn't that look pretty, guys? When you kind of do that with the moon in the back. As soon as this like nasty stuff, I'll take like a screenshot maybe. Like that. That looks pretty. I'll take it. Really, lady? Get out of here. Great. Guess you're going to be on my screenshot. I took a screenshot. I thought that was pretty. Anyways, moving on. I don't take too many screenshots, okay?
Rare loot.
I don't know. I don't really like I said, I think if you're perfect at everything, life wouldn't be fun. Life would be pretty meaningless. Where did you die? What are you doing? No, you don't. What are you guys? Oh, Draconis Mons. I love that map. People hate that map. I love that map. My lips are really dry. Alright, you know what? I can just say that Sven over here, he's correcting Raygun, and I never do that, but I always have the urge to. I correct everyone and everything. They had, the other day there was, okay, like, I want to hear people's opinion about this because I don't know how people feel about this, but, you know, I correct everyone all the time, and I think that particularly for people who are reporters, making spelling mistakes is pretty bad. Okay, you need to know, and I get you make mistakes and stuff, but I feel like spelling mistakes or like grammar mistakes and stuff shouldn't really happen when you're a reporter. When you have to write for a living like that, like that's pretty bad, right? I don't know. I feel like that's my opinion. So the reason I say that is because recently there was an article written about the restaurant that I work at, and there was they were quoting one of the owners on what they said, and the quote was missing a word. Instead of saying something like it was something about the staff, and they were like, we're proud of what we've been doing or something, instead of what we have been doing. No, the bin was missing. Yeah, it was saying like we're proud of what we've doing. And I'm like, it's missing a bin there. Okay, what we've been doing. And I was like, how did this get published? Like, it's a newspaper article. It's not like, with the things that you write online, I find myself doing that all the time when I write like a long post somewhere. You're writing, but I do see your writing. Like, not your actual handwriting, because I have terrible handwriting myself. I have chicken scratch handwriting, but the actual way that you write doesn't matter to me. It's the spelling. Like, when people don't know how to spell, it makes me cringe horribly. And I'm like a total grammar Nazi. And I hated myself. When I make mistakes, I'm like, oh my god, I made a mistake. I hate myself. Like, it not that extreme, but, you know, it's like, I don't like that. But I just think that, you know, when I write stuff online, like if I'm posting a post or something, I can always go back and edit that, right? You can always go back and edit that stuff. I feel like even news reports that are posted online, they can go back and edit those posts. You know, you can always go back and edit those. I'm pretty sure like every website nowadays lets you do that when you write a post somewhere online. Whereas I think that like when you write in a newspaper, you know, that stuff gets printed, you know, probably thousands of times, depending on if it's like a local newspaper or what. And it's like you want to double check, you want to like quadruple check that. You don't even want to just triple check it. You want to like quadruple check that shit. Before I'm sending that to the press, I would have like 3 other people read through the article and be like, find any errors in there for me before I post it, because I would be embarrassed. I literally was like, who's this reporter who wrote this, because I want to make fun of them. That was the first thing I did, because I'm like, you're a reporter, like you're supposed to not, you know, I don't know. It was like one little mistake. I kind of get it. But yeah, overall I was just like, okay, well, that's just kind of dumb. Like, I don't know, I do my typos as well, but I always get super embarrassed when I do. And I know no one judges me on it, but I judge myself on those a lot. I judge myself very much when I make a typo or something, and I always get like super embarrassed. And I don't know, at work, like specifically, there's one person at work that I laugh at them sometimes, because sometimes they're hilarious. Like, some typos are really funny, but we have like one person at work, and I'm not going to say specifically like who that person is, because I don't know, I just don't want to call anyone out like that. But I constantly see them do like spelling mistakes, and I'm like, oh boy, I'm like, where to begin? Like, I'm reading like something they wrote or something, and it's like a page long. Not a whole page, but like a little, you know, notes or whatever. And I'm like, okay, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. They actually, you know, talking about that, so a couple months ago, because we were coming out of COVID, we were changing our menu at work, and really, did that just disappear right in front of my eyes? Ugh, please let me be part of this at least. I don't want to miss out. There we go. Yes, baby, yes. They were having, oh yeah, the ass gear. Ah, that was great. The ass gear. But they were changing the menu around. They were having new menus printed, and so they had a rough draft of the menu, and I went through just randomly, like they didn't even ask me to do it, but I like kind of took the thing out of their hand, and I was like, all right, let me proofread it, because none of you guys know how to do it. And granted, and I will say, just to like, you know, toot my own horn here, and you know, I don't like tooting my own horn, but there's certain instances where I do. I'm not a Native American, okay, or like, you know, I'm not from the USA originally. I am, you know, I'm from Germany, and English is my second language, okay? So for me to go through and correct all these people that have been living here their whole lives, and some of them are highly educated people. One of the people that was writing the menu, she's like almost a doctor, okay? Like, just wrap your mind around that. So I had to go through and correct them. Now this is way before. This is like the first early draft, okay? I went through it, read through the whole menu, and I found like, I don't know, like 20, 30 mistakes or something. And I'm like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Okay, so then they went and they changed it. I'm gonna do this guy again. Come on. Stop being invulnerable. Whee! Ooh, he's going the other way. And you're done. Where are you shooting? I'm going there. But so then come like a month later, they're like, oh yeah, here's the final menu for you guys to read. We're having them print it. We're sending to the print today, and they're gonna be printed out, and we're gonna have them next week. So I'm like, oh okay. So I look at them, and I'm finding like another like 30 mistakes in there. I'm like, okay, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And they're like, are you kidding right now? And I'm like, no. I'm like, look at it. I'm like, this is wrong, there's wrong. There was punctuation mistakes, there was typos in there, there was capitalization errors, like all kinds of stuff that was wrong in there. And there was like one point where they had like, it was like white, like they were talking about a cheese, they were talking about a white cheese, and they were like white cheese. And I'm like, okay, you have white in there twice, like how did no one see this? And there was, like I said, highly educated 3 people that sat around a table and made this menu together and looked at these mistakes, and they didn't, that same day even, mind you, and they didn't find it. I was like, you can't send this to the press. I was like, there's like 20-30 mistakes in here. Then they had like a sentence where the entire sentence structure was completely like all over the place, where none of it made sense. And I was like, this doesn't even, like, read this to me. This doesn't even make sense as you're saying this. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that, Cresting. I've worked very hard on it, okay? Like I said, I scold myself more than any other person does. I do. So, I've worked very hard. But I do appreciate that. I take it as a compliment, and I appreciate the compliment. So, I do. I really do. Ooh, chest. Hidden chest. I got a boot box. I haven't gotten any other boxes today. It's kind of weird. I haven't gotten any shovels either. I haven't done any events. I've been like walking around. But yeah, so then the owner, she came up to me and she was like, and she was one of the people that worked on it. And she was like, you're finding all, because I went to the general manager and I was like, dude, you can't. I'm like, and he's like, why didn't you tell me before? And I said, listen, you gave me the rough draft. I went through the rough draft with you, and you skipped over the next, what, 2 drafts and didn't show them to me. I said, that's on your own. I said, that's not on me. You should have shown me all the other drafts that you're doing, or have picked out mistakes on all of them. I said, I went through the first round of them, and then you never came back to me, so I don't know, you know, whatever. You know, he was kidding around. He wasn't being serious or anything. But then the owner, she, like, it was really interesting because it seemed like she didn't believe me. And she came up to me and she was like, can you show me all the mistakes? Because I didn't show them to her. I showed them to the general manager. And I was like, yeah, sure. So she pulled out one of the menus, one of the prototype menus, I guess. And so I'm like, right here. And she's like, oh my God. She's like, oh my God. Oh, we didn't see any of these. She's like, you're really good at this. And I was like, thanks. I'm like, I guess. And I'm like, not a native American or a native English speaker, but yeah, you know what? I'm like, I worked hard on it. I worked hard on my English and my grammar and my punctuation, and mistakes still come through. When you hear me make mistakes in my speech, it usually is because of my there was something I said I think there was something I said earlier where I was like, oh, my German is coming out. I was like, whoops. That's not, I'm like, that's not how you say that. or something. I forgot what it was, but sometimes it still shows itself, you know. Sometimes it still comes out. But you know, I'm not a huge fan of German. I could never recommend it to anyone. It's really hard. I failed all of my German, like in class and school. Worst subject for me, German. It's such a hard language. When you get into like the nitty gritty, I mean, like learning the words and learning like basic grammar is fine. But then when you talk about like different cases and like, you know, words change based on like, I don't know, like all these things. And I was like, it's so complicated. I hate it. Ooh, give me that. Give me that. Yeah, got gold still on that. Nice. Did I get any? I got one shovel. Yeah, right there. I just got it. One of the events. But yeah, I don't know. It's really, really. Look at that. What? This guy? Is that who? Attack that guy, please. Die. Gee. Yeah, I don't know. There's really beautiful languages to learn out there. I hate French. I think Spanish, for me personally... Oh, I don't have any more keys. I went through all my keys. Holy crap, guys. I had like over 200 keys. No, I didn't. I had like 150 or something. I didn't have 200 keys. That's wrong. That's wrong. Knowledge is the greatest treasure. Alright, let me buy 900 keys. Boom. Never run out of keys again. I spent all of my banded crests. I'm gonna get more banded crests as I go through doing all this stuff anyways. I'm not too worried about it, honestly. Ooh, there's a banded chest over here. That's a random spot. No one comes out this way during Reba usually. That's good. I don't know, that fight in particular, Catechus, is pretty like all over the place, I think. So congrats on that, because that's usually one where I'm like, because there's so much AoE happening, and I don't know, it's a lot of stuff going on, I think, so. Look, my keys are still coming in. Literally gonna show us 900 keys, 980 keys coming in. Wonder, can you go over 990? You probably can have like as many as you want. Imagine having so many that it fills up this entire thing. I mean, that's like almost impossible, but I'm doing this escort right now because I'm all about it. Yeah. These escorts are really easy, especially on a Reaper. Repeeper. Repeeper peeper. Get out of here. Really? I don't know, I would imagine. I remember the first time I did it. Oh, I already have this, huh? I remember the first time I did it was on my Necro, I want to say. I think that was that was when I switched over to maining a Necro. And I remember having a hard time, but it's because I didn't know the like mechanics of it or whatever. But the second time I went in again, it was really easy. So I don't know. Let's help out here a little bit, get credit for this. I'm gonna head out in a minute too. Kind of wanted to just chill out today, kind of not really do anything. I've been trying to work on some of the bot stuff. So there is certain commands that we have. There's an uptime command. There is a Discord command. There's a couple of timers in there. And what, like, once I get a little bit more viewers, or maybe on streams where I have a lot of viewers, I will be doing giveaways. So I do have that set up as well. It'll probably be like gem giveaways, which are, you know, because I was thinking about like doing black line chest keys, but people don't necessarily like them. So I don't know, I'm probably gonna do like gem giveaways, which lets you at that point then do whatever you want with it. I think that's smarter to do than black line chest keys, because people are just not lucky in those chests, especially me. I mean, I would be happy with chest keys, but I know how some people would be like, oh well, I'm probably not gonna get anything, and they'd be upset if they don't get anything. They'd rather buy themselves their own skin or something in the store. So I'll probably do a gem giveaway for that. But yeah, that'll happen once we have more viewers in the stream, because that way I can make like a raffle type of thing. And I'll have to set that up. Is it meta? It's not. Is it? I don't know. 'Cause I think Scourge in the meta world currently is only used as like a support, I think. No, there's like, isn't there like Condi DPS Scourges? I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, so yeah, so if you guys are interested in those, I do want to, I think doing some giveaways would be interesting. I've been wanting to do them, but I just need more people in there, because I would hate to just have 3 people in. Ooh, Bonetti's rapier. That's nice, because that's a berserker weapon right there. Oh, look at that. We're full on. Did I get just enough? Oh no, okay, they're right here. I was like, did I get just enough on those? Look at this, guys. We're full. I think I'm gonna end it here. This is a good point to stop. You know, what's the point where you say enough is enough kind of thing? I'm like, you know, we're kind of already over what I usually go for. I'm gonna harvest this stuff, and 17 shovels. I'll put those into the guild, and then I'm gonna do, after I get off, I'm gonna do like my daily like crafting, get some of that stuff. Ooh, the legendary's back. We already defeated him twice. It's kind of crazy how the other ones haven't gotten really any. Get on the roller, Beetle. I could have just teleported. I don't know why I didn't do that. Alright, well, what was I gonna do? I was gonna just, I think I just want to go somewhere safe. Oh, I got one more shovel. Look at that. What just happened?
It was nothing.
Oh, I'm working through these. I was like, what just happened? But yeah, I appreciate everyone coming in. Like I said, let me know what you guys want to see, what kind of runs you guys want to see. I'm gonna end the thing here, the poll. So Virtuoso won out. I figured that would win out. We're gonna continue Pacifist run tomorrow. Then Tuesday we're gonna do whatever season 4. We'll do some Istan. We'll hang out in Istan. We'll talk about that stuff. And yeah, and I appreciate everyone that comes by for these. I am working on, well, currently, what do I have? Let me look. Well, I still want to do the action camera videos. I'm working on that. I haven't started working on that, but I do want to do that. I do have my theory video that I started doing. I have some stuff for it done, not that much for. That'll come out, so that'll be another Deep Sea Dragon theory video. And then I'm gonna do my quality of life changes. So if you guys have any ideas for quality of life changes that you would like to see, you can let me know in Discord. You can shoot me a message, or even in game if you want to shoot me a mail right here. Just let me know what you guys want to see for quality of life changes. Like we kind of talked about, you know, some of the stuff. If you guys have anything in particular that you want to see, yeah. And then like I said, we'll be doing the Pacifist run. Once that's done, I'll kind of look at, I'll continue doing the polls and ask people what they want to see for other runs, so that I can, like, because I know not everyone watches the streams all the time and stuff, so you know, to get a larger idea of what people want to see, I'll do it more often so that other people can get to vote on the same thing, kind of. Yeah, and we'll see what people want to see after the Pacifist run, because once we hit level 80 with the Pacifist, I don't think there's any other thing that I can really do that's interesting, so I want to do something else though. And yeah, and I'm working on those videos. Like I said, if you guys want to see anything particular in those videos, let me know. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys so much, and you know, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. We're still trying to raise the number there. But yeah, I appreciate everyone that came by and hung out and talked and stuff. So, but I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.